So what if soldiers on every street corner really did make cities safer? What if the sight of a uniform and a rifle actually stopped crime before it started? Well, the founders still said, don't do it. Not because they didn't care about safety, but because they had lived under safety, bought with fear. They'd seen it firsthand. British troops were billeted in barracks, and when those filled, in inns and other public buildings, colonists footing the bill, and governors could even press uninhabited buildings into service. In Boston, after protests grew too loud on June 12, 1775, Governor General Thomas Gage proclaimed martial law. And that order didn't feel safe. It felt occupied. It taught the colonists how easily civil liberty withers under the shadow of armed force. So when they finally built a government of their own, they made it clear the army is not your police. Congress can raise armies, but any appropriation expires after 2 years, forcing regular democratic control of the military. The Constitution lets Congress call forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrections, and repel invasions. When called, the President commands them. Day-to-day policing is civilian. Using the Army for law enforcement takes explicit statutory authority, like the Insurrection Act. And soldiers can't be parked in your home in peacetime without your consent. Hamilton warned in Federalist No. 8 that in fearful times, the military state rises above the civil, and liberty bends. And in 29, he argued that a citizen militia under civil authority is the constitutional alternative to routine domestic soldiery. Now, fast forward to October 2025. Courts have temporarily blocked guard deployments to Portland. Illinois and Chicago have sued to stop a guard mission to Chicago, while Texas Guard units moved in pending a hearing. The White House has threatened the Insurrection Act. In Chicago, state officials say an ICE raid used Black Hawk helicopters and over 100 agents in full tactical gear. DHS disputes part of that account. There are people who feel comforted by that presence. They see discipline and strength and a return to order. But what we're really watching is a slow erosion of civil control, of local authority, of the assumption that peace comes from neighbors and laws, not uniforms and armored vehicles. And once that line is crossed, it's hard to uncross. If you want to help keep this kind of storytelling alive, especially during times like these, please visit dancoyle.com. That link's in my bio or here on screen, because this is the line the founders drew. They knew that soldiers on the corner might stop a thief, but they'd also teach the public to expect power to come from the barrel of a gun. And they feared what that would do to the soul of a republic. So here's the question we need to ask ourselves now. What kind of country are we trying to be? One that strengthens its communities and civic muscles? Or one that keeps reaching for the comfort of force, even when it costs us the very freedoms we claim to protect? Let's remember what they warned us about. And let's not wait until it's too late to draw our own line.